Before you watch this, I need to tell you what happened. The 79 Kitchen closed a little over a week ago, and it's still quite devastating to think about. We had 2 days notice. The property owner terminated the lease after 2 months of missed rent we couldn't catch up on. Lynn begged for more time, and he gave us 2 more days. 4 days total to clear everything out. All the equipment, the food, the mural I painted, but I actually can't take. Everything we fought so hard to create. We wish we could have had a proper goodbye, a farewell event for our customers who supported us, who loved the food, who became regulars. But there wasn't time. I made this video to launch the restaurant's YouTube channel, to bring in more customers and help save it. But I never got to finish editing before we had to close the doors. I thought about not posting it. What's the point of telling a story that ends in failure, right? But this story needs to be told, not just about what we lost, but about what happened, how we got there, what one contractor's negligence cost us, and why despite everything, this isn't the end. So this is the 79 Kitchen story, what we built, what we lost, and what comes next. What if you have a dream, and the only obstacle is someone you trusted? This is the fight for the 79 Kitchen. The owner poured her entire life, the sacrifices since leaving Vietnam, her savings, even her house, into this dream. But a single massive breach of trust has brought it all to the brink. I'm not the owner, I'm a close friend who was there for everything. The owner's name is Lynn, and she's been fighting this battle for over a year. This is the full, painful truth we've been hesitant to share publicly. We've told some of you the basics over the counter. But until now, we haven't revealed the real cost, the true stakes. The truth is, Lynn is selling her home to keep the restaurant alive, her dream alive. And it's a battle we're still fighting right now. Before we share our food with you, before we talk about Vietnamese culture and community, you need to know our story. You need to know how this place almost never happened. I asked Lynn if I could tell this story because English is her second language, and some things are just too painful to put into words, especially the truth about the house. Lynn agreed, because this story needs to be told, and we need your help to tell it. This is the origin story of the 79 Kitchen. And I'm still angry about what almost destroyed it. So let me start at the beginning on how we got here. Now, starting a business is hard for anyone, but imagine doing it in a country where you've only lived for a few years, where English is your second language, and where you have to navigate banks and funding, real estate negotiations, permits and city regulators, lawyers and insurance, contractors and equipment. That's overwhelming. Most people wouldn't even try, but she did. I have some experience with this kind of thing. I'm no professional, but I want to help however I could. So I designed the restaurant layout, worked on the concept, kept everything budget friendly because I knew money was tight. Everything seemed to be falling into place. Funding, check. Location, found it. Right in her own community, where she lives. She could have gone somewhere cheaper across the city, but she wanted to be a part of her neighborhood, to share her culture with the people around her, to contribute locally. This wasn't just about opening any restaurant anywhere. It was about building something meaningful right where she put down roots. Permits in progress. Now, Lynn just needed a contractor. She found a Vietnamese contractor. Perfect, right? She could communicate easily, and she'd be supporting another Vietnamese business owner. He seemed legit, had worked on other projects, quoted a reasonable price, said it would take 3 months to complete. Simple layout, straightforward build. This was October 2023. It seemed like the hard part was over. We had no idea what was coming. So how does it feel?
Hello. Hi.
How's it feel, your new place? The start of something.
Just overwhelmed. What to do?
February 2024, construction is finally ready to start. Building permit approved after some delays on his end with missing paperwork. Small red flag, but nothing crazy yet. I stepped back during construction. I figured they'd let me know when things were getting close to being done. And then I come in and build the furniture and finish the design work. But by late August, something felt off. The timeline didn't make sense anymore. So I asked Lynn, where are we at? Is it almost done? When I went to see the place, oh, I was so furious. Let me paint you a picture of what actually happened. Month 1 and 2, 2 months to just start after getting the building permit. It took him 1 day to move his equipment in, and that was it. For a whole month, he did nothing. A full month before he actually began construction. Month 3, the HVAC and electrical subcontractors came in and did their work. The contractor painted the top section of the walls, pulled up the concrete floor, and dug a path for the plumbing pipes. Month 4 to 7, and then nothing, literally nothing. She's texting him, calling him repeatedly, no response, no work, no progress. The restaurant just sits there, empty, unfinished, while the bills keep piling up. Here's what gets me. The subcontractors, the electrician, the HVAC guys, they did their job in a month. Professional, reliable, done. But the general contractor, the guy who's supposed to be running this whole thing, he vanished. Meanwhile, Lynn's paying her mortgage, monthly expenses, bank loan payments, and the lease on the restaurant space. The financial pressure was crushing her. This is when I got involved full time, late August. This is 4 months of work. It's crazy. Not even anything really finished, except for the lights and HVAC on top. Really. Look at this. It says guaranteed a month and a half. This is 4 months. I'm not a very trustworthy person. I don't think anybody really should hire him, because essentially time is money, and you know, it's a lot of investment to put into like a business, a lot of stress. You know, just 4 months, and just 4 months paying a lease, no money coming in. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how people stay in business like this. Like, you know, it was like he offered a quote, we accepted. It's not like we're not paying him. You know, it's just, how do people stay in business like this? It's just crazy. You know, he has other jobs, it keeps coming in, but he says, no, I'll 100% focus on your place. This is 100% focus. Monday afternoon, nobody here. Yeah, 4 months, that's it. Way over the timeline. It's just so stressful. I don't know what to do. Don't know. I was so angry, my blood pressure spiked. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. I had to just sit and force myself to calm down, because screaming wouldn't get anything done. Even now telling the story, I'm getting frustrated all over again. I called the contractor. What's going on? What's the delay? It's August and we're nowhere near done. His excuse, I'm working on another project, almost finished. I'll be there full time in a few days. So I started calling him every single day, texting him, driving to the restaurant to check on progress myself. The day after the first call, he actually showed up. And you know what he did? He placed the pipes in the holes. Just set them in there. Didn't connect them, didn't secure them, just laid them in the trenches he dug months ago. I know because I checked the day before and the day after. That's all he did. Another month, and this is the progress, which you can see, not much. It's like, how long is it gonna take? Takes a month to put in some pipes, which even for me with no experience, I'd probably do maybe 2 days. Maybe I'll watch some YouTube videos. I'll probably do it in a day, because literally look how many pipes there's. That's it. So professional takes them a month and they're not done. So I don't know what to say. And every time after that, every time it was a different excuse. The pipe isn't the right size. The architect gave me the wrong specs. The plumbing inspector says we need a bigger grease trap. I asked for the inspection report, called the inspector myself. He said nothing about needing a bigger grease trap. The contractor lied. 3 weeks just to get a new grease interceptor. 3 weeks in 2024, not during COVID, not ordering from overseas. Sometimes he texts saying he was there working. So I drive out to talk to him. But I come back an hour later and he'd be gone, just leaving one inexperienced worker behind. And the worker would always say he had to go buy supplies. Every time. Like, why wouldn't you have your supplies ready? Like, why would you always have to leave? It's just so frustrating. August, September, October, every single day, I'm calling, pushing, begging him to work. There were times he wouldn't answer, so I'd keep calling 4 times, 5 times. Once, I called over 100 times before he finally picked up. In September, I sat down with Lynn to try to understand how it got this bad. She told me something that broke my heart. She said, I thought he was an adult. He should do what he says. I didn't think I needed to watch over him every minute. You have to understand, in Vietnamese culture, there's a deep level of respect for elders. As an adult, especially someone older than you, gives you their word, you believe them, you trust them. That's how she was raised. That's our custom. She wasn't being naive. She was just being respectful. And she was honoring the values she grew up with. And he took advantage of that. I could see how much this was devastating her. The financial pressure, the stress, watching her dream slip away while bills piled up. This person worked so hard to risk everything, who gave someone the respect and trust her culture taught her, and he just abandoned her. I told him, Lynn's going bankrupt. She's losing the restaurant and her house. Everything she worked for. At one point, I was crying while talking to him. Literally crying. Trying to make him understand how devastating this was. 1 full year, October 2023 to October 2024, and we weren't even close to opening. He didn't care. Coming in 2 to 3 hours per week, if that, something had to change. I contacted my best friend who works at a law firm, got legal advice. The answer was clear. Fire this contractor, hire someone new, get the restaurant open, generate revenue, then deal with the fallout later. End of October, we give him the termination letter. You know what he said? Give me 1 more month. I promise I'll finish everything. 1 more month? After a year of broken promises? By this point, I've been talking regularly with the electrician because the original contractor didn't even show up for city inspections. The electrician told me, straight up, we were months away from being complete. We couldn't trust this guy anymore, so he was out. And hiring another contractor, there was no money, which meant I had to become the general contractor. Me, with no construction experience background. I coordinated with the electrician, HVAC guy, hired a new plumber, but there wasn't enough money to hire people for everything. So I learned to do it myself. Drywall installation, taping and mudding, priming and painting walls, building a concrete bar and sealing it, installing vinyl panels, sanding and sealing concrete floors, installing kitchen wall panels, bathroom and bar, building benches and tables, all with YouTube tutorials. Was it easy? Kind of not, but it was exhausting, physical, and I'm no professional, but both of us were there every single day, eating lunch and dinner at the construction site, working until we couldn't anymore. 4 months, blood, sweat, actual tears, long hours, stress, injuries, sleepless nights, planning the next day's work. I lost 10 kilos during this time. The physical and emotional toll of doing construction work, I learned from YouTube, trying to save Lynn's dream. And we finally finished 4 months. Finished 4 months as a non-professional contractor, coordinating with subcontractors and passing inspections. The professional general contractor couldn't do it in 7 months, and that's just counting April to October, and not the full year we worked with him. Later, I found out from the electrician, the original contractor actually didn't know how to build out a restaurant. He'd done nail salon renovations before, but never a restaurant from scratch. A couple weeks after opening, some customers came in. As I was talking with them, the lady said, "My family member built this place." I was puzzled. I was like, "What?" I asked who she meant. She said the original contractor's name. I kept my cool. I'm not confrontational, and she's his family. But I told her the truth. Actually, he didn't build anything. He made excuses and dragged out construction for months. She said, "Oh, because he had too many projects and couldn't find enough workers." Here's the thing, no one forced him to take on more projects, especially when Lynn kept telling him she was running out of money. She would lose everything if he didn't finish. Only an evil, greedy person treats someone like that. And that's a poor excuse, a poor way to justify his actions. But I didn't say that to her. I didn't say anything more. I just left it as it is with her, because at this point, the time for talking was over. The only thing that mattered was survival. We had our soft opening. Lynn had already remortgaged her house just to get to this point. There was no money left for employees, advertising, or marketing. Just good food, word of mouth, and hoping for Google reviews. A month later, we had the grand opening. I invited my family and friends to come support her. And they did. It helped a lot. The wall still felt bare though. It made me sad that she couldn't afford proper design elements after everything she'd been through. So I decided to do something about it. I painted the restaurant logo on the wall, bought the paint and the brushes myself. Then I thought, what about a mural? Custom murals aren't cheap. And I haven't drawn anything in 20 years. Haven't painted in over 30. But I was going to try. Worst case, I paint over it. I asked what she wanted. She said something representing her hometown, Nha Trang, a coastal city in Vietnam with beaches, ocean on one side, and mountains on the other. Her grandfather used to build fishing boats there. So I painted this. And about the name, the 79 Kitchen. In Vietnam, the first two digits of a license plate represents your city. 79 is Nha Trang. Every detail here has meaning. This isn't just a restaurant, it's a piece of home shared with all of you. It's been 9 months since opening. I wish I could tell you everything's perfect now, but without backup funds for those crucial first 6 months, without marketing or advertising, without employees, the restaurant didn't get the boost it needed. So with a heavy heart, Lynn's selling her home to keep this restaurant alive, to keep her dream alive. The home in the community she chose specifically to serve, the place where she put down roots. Think about that. She worked for years to buy that house, made it her home. Then she dreamt bigger, to contribute to her neighborhood, to share her culture with her neighbors, with all of you. And because of one person's greed and neglect, she's losing her home to keep her dream alive. That's the reality. The origin story is over, but the fight to survive is just beginning. Every single day, the 79 Kitchen is struggling to stay open. We are in a battle against the clock and the debt this failure created. The main thing on the menu is banh mi, Vietnamese style subs. Maybe not the best in all of Calgary, but definitely the best in the far south. I can't be here every day anymore. I have my own path to follow. This is the hardest part for me because this video is the last thing I can do to help Lynn to keep the 79 Kitchen alive. But this channel will keep telling the story, her story, the 79 Kitchen story. If you're in the Calgary area, please come visit. She's a one-woman operation right now, running the front, cooking in the kitchen, shopping for ingredients, making delicious Vietnamese-inspired food, just trying to pay the bills. She's doing this completely alone, so please be patient when you visit. Once enough people come and support her, she can finally afford to hire help. 9 years ago, she left her homeland, her family, her friends, her entire life for a dream. Life is difficult. We don't get to choose everything that happens to us, but we can choose what we do about it. In just 9 years, she's accomplished so much. She's built something genuinely amazing. She deserves to see it succeed. We wanted you to know the truth first. Where we came from, what it cost to get here. This is the 79 Kitchen. Thank you. So that's the story. That's what happened. The 79 Kitchen is closed. And I need you to understand what that really means. Lynn's not just losing a business. She's losing her home, a home she worked years to buy, in the community she chose to serve. She's losing her income, her livelihood, her financial security, everything she built in 9 years in this country. Lynn came here with nothing, built a life from scratch, and now she's starting over again, but this time with debt instead of hope. It's devastating, and it's hard to watch someone you care about go through this. But during those final 4 days, while we were frantically packing everything up, something happened. Our regular customers came by. They sent messages. They told her how much the food meant to them. And Lynn realized the dream wasn't wrong. People actually wanted what she was creating. The problem was never the concept or the food or her ability to run a business. The problem was that one contractor stole a year from us. A year we could have been building this customer base, generating revenue, getting established. By the time we finally opened, there was no cushion for those critical first months. No money for marketing to let people know we existed. No employees to help handle the workload. We were set up for failure before we even began. But now she knows there's a market for this. She has proof, real people asking her to come back. She has experience running a restaurant, and she's learned hard lessons about who to trust and how to protect herself. And Lynn wants to try again. Now, I need to be straight with you. Wanting to rebuild and actually being able to do it are two different things. Lynn needs to stabilize financially first. She's lost everything, her home, her business, her savings. She needs to find work, start saving again, deal with the trauma of what happened. That's not a quick process. She needs to find the right location, vet contractors carefully this time, secure funding without putting everything on the line, build a team she can trust, all while rebuilding her life. Life doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes circumstances don't allow for second chances, no matter how much you want them. Sometimes it hits too hard to come back from. But Lynn's determined to try. And those messages from customers, they gave her something beyond just her own dream. They gave her a community of people who saw what she was building and wanted to be a part of. I can't promise you the 79 Kitchen will reopen. I can't give you a timeline or guarantee a comeback story. But what I can tell you, Lynn hasn't given up. She's going to try to find a way. And if it's possible, if she can rebuild financially, if she can find the right partners, if life allows it, the 79 Kitchen will come back. I'm sharing this story for a few reasons. One, to warn others. If you're starting a business, especially as an immigrant, especially in a new country, protect yourself. Vet your contractors thoroughly. Get everything in writing. Don't let cultural respect be used against you. Two, to expose what happened. That contractor didn't just delay a project. He destroyed someone's life. Her business, her home, her security, gone, because he couldn't be bothered to do what he promised. People need to know this happens. Three, to show that the dream was real. This wasn't a failed concept. It was sabotage timing. She created something people generally loved. She just ran out of time and money before enough people could discover it. And 4. To document this chapter, whatever happens next, whether it's a comeback, a different path, or something we can't predict, this story needs to be told honestly. The 79 kitchen is closed now. Lynn lost her home, her business, her livelihood. But if you want to follow what happens next, the rebuilding process, the setbacks, the small victories, and yes, hopefully a comeback, subscribe to this channel. It might be quiet for a while as Lynn puts her life back together. There might not be a fairy tale ending, but whatever the journey looks like, we'll share it honestly. And to everyone who supported us, who sent those messages, who asked us to come back, thank you. You're a huge part of why Lynn hasn't completely given up. You reminded her that what she created mattered to people. This is the 79 kitchen. We built something people loved. We lost it to circumstances we couldn't control. And we're going to try. No guarantees, but with determination to build it again. Thank you for listening to our story.